I have 2 children. If any one of them saw one of their friends drown, I'm not lawyering up for that. If they had nothing to do with it. I mean, times are too hard, gas is too expensive, milk is too expensive to be paying for lawyers unnecessarily. So you can act stupid if you want to. But I know the game. The jig is up. I'm sick and tired, as Fannie Lou Hamer said, of being sick and tired. You will not get away with this. If anything was done wrong, I don't care if you're the district attorney that works with the judge. I don't care if you're the sheriff that works with the judge. We will not rest until the independent, unbiased law enforcement agency gets in here and investigate this properly.
Your face! Show your face, please, with sugar on top!
Now, I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but we kind of fell back from the Nolan Wells case. And it's personal with me because something don't feel right to me and something feels a bit off. And this came ever since I started closely analyzing the interviews between the parents and observing a few things between the mother and the father. And let's just say, something don't seem too right in my eye, but that's another story. Now, I could be wrong, but this is my personal opinion. But when it comes to the mother, from the crying with no tears, to the absent grief that don't seem to be too genuine, down to the father that kind of makes it seem like everything is about him, I don't know. Then I started seeing other creators also call the situation a little suspicious, so I knew it wasn't just me alone. So I'm not saying I wouldn't be covering the case, but I'll just be dissecting any updates we get and see what you guys think about it so we can all come to our own opinion together. Maybe I'll do a video getting deeper into my opinion and put it on Patreon, but until then, let's get into what a former judge had to say in regards to the situation. Now, I told y'all before that this took place in Mississippi. So while everyone is outraged about why no arrests or nothing have been made, well, for one of the should-be suspects, moms, is a judge. Then we hear others of the quote-unquote friends have parents that are lawyers, doctors, firefighters, whatever. However, this former judge is able to speak because he says he is no longer a judge, so he's able to speak freely, which is kind of crazy because even if you are a judge and you felt a certain way about a case, I'm assuming you can't speak for whatever reason. I don't know. But being a former judge, he also knows the guidelines and rules that judges are supposed to follow. And he's saying that according to his knowledge, certain people are supposed to be arrested by now or at least questioned. So he also gave his input on what's going on. And I think it makes more sense to hear what he has to say, being that he's a former judge that had to uphold the same law that these current judges are supposed to as well. Now, the video is pretty lengthy. It's about 36 to 40 minutes long. Therefore, we're just going to take out a few key parts of this video and post it. And I want to hear what you guys think about what he has to say as a former judge. So before we get into it, shout out to Carlos Moore. If y'all want, check out his page on TikTok where he posts frequently and gives his input on cases such as this. But in the meantime, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hype the video so we can get into the algorithm. And if you not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. Hold up, y'all. There's no way you're watching this video for free right now, where you could be getting paid literally just for playing games while this video play in the background at the same time. Only difference is the increase in your bank account. Now, I'm not saying you'll get rich, but I am saying that you could easily make something while doing nothing except for sitting on the couch playing games if you download the app Free Cash. Tap or click the link I pinned in the comment section or scan the QR code that I put right here on the screen. Also, if you use my link right now, they give you a little sum to start off with just for signing up. So if you want a little Uber Eats or something to snack on and don't feel like dipping into your own wallet, play a few games so you don't have to spend your own ends. Now let's get back to the video.
This is all very suspicious activity. We know that based on an audio recording and some video that Nolan Wells can be heard saying, "Give me my freaking keys." Excuse me, "Give me my freaking phone." And there's been 2 different versions. Some say he said, "Give me my freaking phone," or some say he said, "Give me my MF phone." Regardless, he was asking or demanding his phone. Someone had his phone who did not have permission to have his phone. So the first thing I see, the simplest thing I see, is who had his phone and why. And was that theft of the phone. Sometimes we look at the largest case, we try to get to murder, but the person that took his phone committed a crime right there. There are witnesses to who took that phone. If an affidavit is signed, an arrest warrant could be signed by a judge in Mississippi to go after that person that had that phone unlawfully. We know, based on his own words, Nolan Wells' words while he was alive, he did not give whoever had that phone permission to have that phone. So, was that theft? I think if an affidavit is signed, if it was presented to me when I was a judge, I would have signed an arrest warrant for the person for theft of that phone, based on what I've heard. It'd have to be an affidavit format, but if it was presented to me in affidavit format from law enforcement, I would sign the arrest warrant for, at least at this point, theft of the man's phone. We know who had it. We know who didn't report it to the family. The family had to go find it, and we know that Nolan Wells said give it back to him, and evidently it was not given back to him. Why was that? At this point, there should have been search warrants signed by a judge. Evidence should have been presented to a judge by now. We are nearly 7 days after July the 4th, when he was first reported missing. There should have been evidence submitted by Jackson County law enforcement agents, the sheriff's department specifically, presented to a judge so that search warrants could be signed by the judge, and there needs to be, or should have been, someone questioning the young men, the three so-called friends, and others, and the social media accounts need to be searched by now, or at least a search warrant should have been issued for the appropriate entities to give the law enforcement access to the social media information. That should have been done by now. I'm not telling you what I imagine. I'm telling you what the process usually is when you're trying to do a thorough investigation. Right now, we have a lot of unsworn testimony, but once that is put into affidavit format and there is corroborating evidence through social media, computers, or otherwise, I believe that at that point there will be enough evidence for a judge to sign an arrest warrant. I think critical evidence that's missing right now are the results of the autopsy, the state's autopsy and the independent autopsy. That's going to be critical information, and that alone, or that in connection with what's already known, may be enough to lead to an arrest. There should be an investigation about the underage drinking, who provided the alcohol. Those individuals could be immediately arrested based on if there was any sworn testimony presented to a judge. I believe a judge could immediately sign an arrest warrant for those who provided the alcohol to underage individuals. There's a lot of people and a lot of potential crimes, some misdemeanors and felonies, that people could be held accountable for. Was there any boating while intoxicated? Who was the captain of the boat? And what did he allow on his boat? If there were any illegal drugs possessed by anyone, drugs are still illegal in Mississippi, at least they were when I was on the bench. Drug possession, drug use, selling of drugs, dealing drugs, trafficking drugs. We've heard testimony, or allegations at least. I don't think anything's been put in affidavit format yet, about rampant drug use among certain individuals. There definitely should be search warrants issued by now, and there could be arrest warrants for certain crimes issued by now. But for the the ultimate crime of murder, it is probably wise to wait to see what the autopsy reveals, or that both autopsies reveal, and then parse that together with all the video footage, all the witness statements taken, any affidavits gathered, and then make a decision, get it all to a judge at that point, for a judge to decide whether or not to sign a warrant for the arrest of one or more individuals. There's also the potential for kidnapping. It needs to be looked at whether or not they can get to murder. Was there kidnapping? Was this young man taken somewhere against his will at any point? Was there abuse of a corpse even after he died? So there's a lot of things that need to be looked at from various law enforcement perspectives. Law enforcement has to do their job and get the information to a judge in the right format before a judge can act. Had I still been on the bench, if I wanted to act, I could not act unilaterally. I would have to wait till law enforcement brought me the evidence in the right format before I could sign an arrest warrant, before I could sign a search warrant. And so that's how the process works. I may have been born at night, but I was not born last night. And one thing about it, you cannot fool the informed. I've been on the inside. I know the process. And we will not sit quietly and allow this to be swept under the rug. I will call your hand. I will call your hand. You are not going to play these people for a fool. You are not going to play these people for a fool. We know the process. We know what you should be doing. And by God, I plan to make sure you do it. Or we're going to call you out each and every time. There is a process. What I do know is, had the roles been reversed, by now, there would likely have been already arrests made. It wouldn't have taken all 6 days, 7 days, whatever the amount of days it's going to take. Had the roles been reversed, justice, the wheels of justice spin quickly. Somebody would have been arrested for something by now. But since the roles are what they are, we are expected to be patient, and they're going to cross every T and they're going to dot every I in the investigation before they make a move, because of the people that are potentially involved. That's the way the criminal justice system works, unfortunately. If you have access to power or money, in some instances, if you're the right color or the right hue, you will get the benefit of the doubt. There are persons of interest that should have been interviewed by now, should have been questioned, picked up, and taken to the station, even if they didn't voluntarily go. There are certain people that should be classified as suspects by now. They should not just be persons of interest. They should be actual suspects. I do not agree with the sheriff saying right now foul play is not suspected. He should have said right now it is too early to tell one way or the other, if he was going to say anything and try to be fair and impartial. Because all of this suspicious stuff, the suspicion and the actions of the individuals themselves lead you to believe that something is awry. And the stories are not adding up. The stories are not adding up. So if you believed that he stayed with a young lady, why were you calling the Coast Guard at 11 p.m. at night on July the 4th? And why did the Coast Guard somehow forget that and then remember it? And it's just very strange. And why would you lawyer up before there is even a body found? If my best friend died by drowning accidentally, the last thing I'm going to be doing is hiring a lawyer. I'm going to be too busy grieving my friend's accidental death. And I would not, in my wildest imagination, ever think that anyone would suspect me of a crime. Accidents happen all of the time. If I am recalling things correctly, I do believe that one of those young people's parents went out to the island. Now, this is a bunch of young folks. I believe one of the mothers got on Facebook and said she went to the island at some point. Why was she there? What was she doing? She was not in their age group. I don't know too many parents that go to a teenage gathering or young person's gathering. What was she doing? I'm curious to know. I'm not even on the bench anymore, but I'm very curious to know what she was out there doing and who she may have been coaching, or what she may have been an accessory to. It's very odd that she was out there, as I'm sure she was not on the guest list. I see Katie has not lawyered up, from what I have been told, and she's been speaking freely and her family's been speaking freely, whereas I understand that some others have decided not to speak to the press and have lawyered up. And people are entitled, in this country, you are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. There's nothing wrong with lawyering up. In fact, if it was my family, I would advise my family to remain quiet too. That's what lawyers do. We advise them to remain quiet. They have a right to remain quiet. And a lot of times you remain quiet for good reason, because anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. But people also have a right to be suspicious of why individuals lawyered up so fast. Why are they not talking? This is serious. It's serious business. People's potential freedom are on the line, and somebody has lost their life. Someone has lost their life. At least the people that's alive still have a fighting chance. You never know what a jury in Mississippi will do. We do know that no one ever was held accountable for Emmett Till's murder, despite the evidence, the overwhelming evidence. No one was ever held accountable. I can only hope and pray that in 2026, 2027, should the facts be presented to a jury of the peers, that it'll be given reasonable consideration, and that if the facts are proven beyond a reasonable doubt, that the individuals that may soon be arrested and tried for the death, for their role in the death of Nolan Wells, will be held accountable.
Now, as y'all can see, it's coming straight from a former judge himself that knows the ins and outs. And as you can also see, he's saying that he knows the tricks and the trades and the little games that them people like to play behind the scenes. So with that being said, I'm sure he's well aware of what may be upon us. He also has to be careful, because I'm sure his former or current counterparts don't like that he's speaking out. And he made a very good point, because I've been asking the same question for a while now, and this seemed to be the one that goes unanswered. If Katie was picked up by a family member, what happened so bad where her family felt the need to go pick her up? What happened where they felt it was urgent enough for her not to stay and would need to be picked up by whoever? Because if y'all remember, they did say at one point her parents picked her up. Then we heard that her siblings picked her up. I don't know. But that's the question that needs to be asked. But on another note, y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. I'm out. Are you tired of a bunch of social media gurus promising you results with their course, but all they do is take a bunch of information off YouTube and Google, then sell it to you? Well, look no further. Our YouTube Tips and Tricks Masterclass course comes equipped with SEO tips and tricks, along with methods we use to growth hack our YouTube channel. It also includes step-by-step ways to publish your video before uploading to guarantee a great SEO score. Therefore, your videos can rank and be shown to a bigger audience. Views and subscribers don't come by luck, and just how YouTube have an algorithm, you should have one as well that can guarantee you results. We're doing websites and softwares we personally use to generate money creating faceless YouTube channels. If you also would like to skip the process and just buy other pre-built accounts, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, we also threw that in there for you too. We went through trial and error, so you don't have to. Click the link in the description or the comments and get started today.